Wow. Thank you. Let us give everybody a big round of applause. Thank you for coming and welcome to the third HJ Peace Festival Asia Pacific 1. Woo! Okay, so really enjoying it. I'm loving it. You enjoying it? The testimonies are beautiful. The performances are wonderful. Isn't life amazing?
Amazing.
Life is so amazing. And life is supposed to be amazing. We have this whole universe to explore. But the truth is, and I love the chat, by the way, everybody chatting away. We see everything here. We're loving all of your comments. Please support one another through the show. You know, when I think of the universe, it is incredible. But what you come to realize is that we are not actually qualified or capable of exploring this wonderful universe alone. We are not capable or qualified from exploring the universe alone. So, you know, we may look at the world and we might think we can understand many things. We can appreciate many things. But the truth is, without our spouse, we cannot fully unlock the secrets of the universe, including within ourselves. I believe that is how precious the couple's love is. But it's not so simple. It's not so easy, right? So let's think about it. When we're preparing for marriage, it's supposed to be a time of joy. We're thinking, okay, this is going to be joyful. It's going to be full of hope and excitement. Right?
Yes.
But why do we marry? Why? Do we marry to make children? Do we marry to love our spouse? Mm-hmm. Do we marry to be, or maybe we marry to be loved by our spouse?
Also.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, what about, do we marry for some sort of benefit? Do I marry for some sort of benefit for myself? Or maybe some benefit for my family? Does anybody know of such a thing when we choose a spouse based on the benefit for ourselves or our family? Does that ever happen, Sayaka? Sayaka-chan? In Asia, does such a thing happen? We marry for sake of a benefit? In the history, we have kings and queens choosing the spouse for sake of even their nation's sake, right? That such a thing can happen. Or do we marry for convenience?
Some couples, huh?
Manirat Kobayashi says we marry for the benefit of God. But is it not true that many people marry for the sake of convenience? Think about it. You know, even financially, it's better. It's more convenient. But the truth is there can be many motivations, many levels within our motivation. But here's a question. Do you want to marry for the highest reason or the lowest reason? Do we want to marry for the highest reason or the lowest reason? Actually, Manirat is correct. 10 points. Please let us register 10 points to Manirat for getting that right. Yes, that's right. It's actually for the love of God. We actually marry to love. Out of love for our heavenly parent, we marry. Is that right? We marry out of love for our heavenly parents. So this is what Father mentioned. We do not marry for our own sake, and we do not marry even for the mutual love of husband and wife. We do not marry for the mutual love of husband and wife. What does that mean? That sounds crazy. Who is this Asia Regional President crazy guy? For all of you that are, by the way, for anyone, if this is your first HJ Peace Festival, welcome. God bless you. You are in the right place. If you're wondering what's going on, we are here to celebrate heaven, to celebrate Heavenly Parent. And specifically, we are looking at the relationship of the love between husband and wife. That's why you keep seeing so many husbands and wives. So let's give it up for Heavenly Parent and husbands and wives. God bless you. So we marry to love Heavenly Parent. We do not marry to love just for the sake of our mutual love. We marry to love our Heavenly Parent, and we love Heavenly Parent. So Manirat, why do we want to love Heavenly Parent? Why should we love Heavenly Parent? By loving our Heavenly Parent, we can become one with Heavenly Parent. This is what our Father of Peace, our true Father, taught us. We marry to love Heavenly Parent, and when we do this, we become one with our Heavenly Parent. Actually, we cannot achieve the fullness of Heavenly Parent's love without marriage. So here I am off by my own. Maybe I'm so great. Maybe I'm really cool. Maybe I'm capable of doing many things. Look how fast I can run, sister. Look how far I can jump, sister. But until we marry, until we commit my life, my eternal future, right?
Yeah.
With one sister, my wife, God's daughter, Heavenly Parent's daughter. Actually, through that experience is where I am going to also perfect myself. So, we cannot achieve the fullness of Heavenly Parent's love without this. We cannot attain our own perfection without marriage.
That's right.
That's why we heard just now in one of our testimonies that, I think I can do everything, or I think I can make harmony by my wife agreeing with me. Everything. But that's impossible. Or if my wife can can you make a perfect couple? If I agree with everything, just centering on your thinking?
You want to try?
I think she wants that way, right? She wants me to try that way, because I think for 6,000 years, biblical years, anyway, I think hundreds of thousands of years, brothers, let's be honest, we're expecting our wives, our sisters, to completely submit to everything that we think our way. Is that right, brothers? Come on, let us be honest. Come on, give the sisters some love in the chat box. Please make your confession, brothers. Yes, that's right. Our fathers, our ancestors, really expecting all of the adaptation and flexibility to come from the wife's side, right? Tang Kim Suri says yes. So all the men throughout history, I'm sorry, those of you that passed into the spirit world, you know what I'm talking about. But actually, we are now living in the time of our true parents, in the time of our true mother. How's that?
That's right.
See, actually, the truth is, my wife agrees with everything I say. Until my wife takes responsibility for all public speeches, then unfortunately, it looks like she has to agree. But don't worry. Before everything I say here, we agree, right? We talk about it. Yeah, every message I share comes from both of us. So, this is an incredible thing. True Mother has opened the way for all sisters to stand in your rightful position. And that means for all husbands to love our wives in their rightful position.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
So you are God's daughter. That's incredible. I'm the luckiest man. Sorry, brothers. I know you think you're lucky. I'm the luckiest brother because I got to marry God's daughter.
Yeah,
if you got to marry God's daughter too, then speak it. Come on. Claim it. But if we marry God's daughter, we have to respect and love as God's daughter. But here's the thing. My wife, no matter how perfect she thinks she is, and I believe she thinks she's perfect.
I'm not.
But no matter how perfect she thinks she is, actually, she cannot achieve perfection without me.
That's right.
Unfortunately, even though I'm not perfect, think about it. I mean, I'm so full of problems, but somehow my wife has to digest and carry and forgive and absorb all of that.
You do that too, right?
Yeah, I have to do too. But I think you're better than me, honestly. I think my wife is better than me. And I'm not saying that just to look like I'm actually secretly saying, oh, I'm the more, able one. For all of you unificationists, that's code language for. But actually, honestly, I believe my wife is better than me. Okay. her character is not like outgoing and making the jokes in public than me, but my wife is more sincere than me. I believe my wife,
Really?
yeah, closer to God than me. And even Father said the reason women's voice is higher is because your vibration is higher and you're closer to heaven. That's right.
Brothers too. Brothers too.
Oh, look, you're just showing off now.
No.
Okay. All right. So the point is, actually, the truth is that, you know, in our case, personally, we both come from like, can I say? Our family situation is not perfect. I'm sorry. I know in Asia, even more than America, even in Europe, it's very important. What's your family name? What kind of family do you come from? What's your standard and hierarchy in the world? Well, we're not so high. You know, even we both come from families that are broken. No matter how much we love and honor our parents, they couldn't keep together. They were so heavily attacked, they couldn't keep together. So we both know what it's like to grow up in a family that wasn't ideal or perfect or easy. And honestly, that makes it harder to marry, harder to love. We are not bringing perfect people into this marriage. But I believe because of God, because of Heavenly Parent and true parents. Who's true parents? This woman and her husband. Because of Heavenly Parents and true parents, on that foundation, we put our marriage. Oh, because of that, we can survive. And not just survive, we can grow.
Yes.
Okay, so because of that, we can perfect ourselves. Are we perfect yet, honey? What would you
Not
say?
yet.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how perfect are we? Come on. Thousands of people watching.
We have to confess.
Okay, let us confess. What number would you give our couple in front of all of Asia? Manita is saying 9.9, but you can hear my wife's nervous laugh. This is the most scary. It's not 9.9, Manita. But, you know, yeah, you can tell everybody that. But no, frankly, you can't really count between 1 and 10. If we're 9.9, that last 0.1 percentage is going to feel like eternity, because honestly, we have an eternity to grow. How boring if already I know everything about my wife and she knows everything about me. In fact, just before this message, I said, you know everything about me. And she said, no, I don't. I realized it's boring if you already know everything about your spouse. So I believe that whether you're level 1 or 9.9, your next year as a couple, your next week as a couple can feel like an eternity and should be joyful. But not so easy to be joyful all the time. So we marry to perfect ourselves. That means sometimes we bump up against each other to wash one another. Right? Happy Sunday to the Philippines, Paliwan. So we marry to love God and perfect each other. But the first step is to recognize our Heavenly Parents' love. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, you know, namaste,
Namaste.
om. Heaven is so wonderful. God's love is so perfect. We are all loving and all gathering and we are one with heaven. Amen. No, it's not just like that. In order to recognize our love Heavenly Parent, Manita, can we love Heavenly Parent without any regard to what Heavenly Parent is feeling? This is my point. For example, when we talk about Hyojang love, we say it's not just, you know, obey and do the things we are studied in the book to be good children. We have to really pray, what is in my parents' mind? What is on my parents' heart? This is how we can become good children. Do you remember what I said in the last Peace Festival? The secret key to true sibling love is first, Hyojang love to Heavenly Parent or to your parents. It's the same with couples love. Is that right?
That's right.
In order for us to create an environment for harmony to exist, in order for us to create an environment for us, each other to grow and raise one another up, we need to anchor it first in our love to God. But this is not just something we read in a book. We must really resonate and pray. What is God thinking? What is Heavenly Parent feeling and thinking? That is Hyojang heart. So even the root of true couples love is Hyojang heart. That's why every Peace Festival is HJ Peace Festival. Yes, thank you. That's right. Because this is the key to couples love as well. Right, Munoy? That is right. Yes. So let us give a big round of applause to our MCs, by the way. Meantime, that's a beautiful couple.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, beautiful. And so we have Heart of Hyojung first. There they are. Look, there they are. So, yes. So again, that's the same secret. So the first step is to recognize Heavenly Parents' love. That means we have to recognize Heavenly Parents' heart and will, which means what is Heavenly Parent thinking about right now? The world is not normal, brothers and sisters, in case anybody didn't reach them. It's not normal. The struggles that we have between husbands and wives, parents and children, between nation and nation, these are not the experiences that Heavenly Parent destined us to have when He created this marvelous universe. So we are in an amazing universe, but humanity is not fulfilling its responsibility. Humanity is not yet living to its potential, and our couples and our families and our nations are not yet living according to Heavenly Parents' will and heart. This is what our true parents came to teach us. That's why we read their words and follow them. This incredible miracle secret insights into human history and unlocking the secrets of human history, the secrets of what it is to be a true man, to be a true woman, to be true brothers and sisters, and to be true couples, and to be true parents.
That's right.
That's why it's not just about marrying for our mutual love. It's about marrying with God's love in mind. But it's not just about marrying with some idea of God's love. It's about understanding what does God care about today. And I believe God cares about the suffering in the world today. Is that right?
That's right. Absolutely.
That means in order for me and you to be happy, it's not just enough we go on pretty dates and serve one another and love one another. Yes, but actually we have to somehow commit this marriage and our family to helping what God needs. Is that right or wrong? Give me some love in the chat box if you agree. Please put it in your own words. What does that mean? Do you agree, honey?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know Mama agrees because actually the first day we got married, we had this conversation. We had to make a decision. Are we going to just look for our own happiness now that we've received the blessing? Or do we want to offer this family for the sake of others? We made the crazy choice. It's not easy. It's not easy. But actually, I believe because of that choice, we've been protected to absorb, to overcome, even to forgive all of each other's foolishness. And again, remember, I have more foolishness than you, Miko. I'm not just saying. I believe it's true because sisters have had to pay a price throughout human history. Somehow sisters are more prepared in some way to really align with this time in history. That's why we are living in the Pacific Rim era leadership. We are living in the era of women's leadership. So let us really look to our wives, brothers. Don't do anything without your wife's blessing. And the truth is that you will shock her many times. The truth is, even if she doesn't admit it, your wife is constantly learning from you also. Isn't that right, honey?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, in other words, we can't find happiness if we ignore the will of heaven. That is the work that True Mother is guiding us to do. Then we go through a process of completing each other. That's what we're engaged in. So I'm getting to the end. We're getting to the end if you're wondering when the next song is going to play. But this is the point. Do you feel me? So Manira says, I love Mrs. Yumiko as well. She is so loving and heartwarming. You should see when she comes. Oh, my wife's love. Even she looks like a Mongolian. I hear from the Mongolian says she looks like Mongolian, but she tends to like, she looks Mongolian. She organizes like Japanese, but she loves like Korean, which means watch out. Meaning she's very honest. She's very honest. So if you like honest, sincere sisters, please pray to spend time with Yumiko. You're really gonna love. If she trusts you, she's gonna be really honest with you. Believe me, I can tell you from experience. She's ruthlessly honest with me. So Manira says our president is so humble. I'm grateful for him. I really don't think I'm a humble kind of person, but Solot likes you. Look, Solot likes you. Somehow you're having. Even you didn't say anything. Do you love my wife's message? Okay, you can interrupt me anytime.
Yes.
Actually, I learned so much from my wife. What was the one? I wanted to give one example because we raise each other, okay? We don't marry for mutual love. We marry for God and for the greater purpose. And through that foundation, we can actually raise each other up, even though we're incomplete. I'm like a bad coach. She's a bad coach. But together, we can raise each other up. And I've learned so much from my wife.
Me too.
Okay, what did you learn from you?
Well,
What did
it's
you learn?
different ways that
Yeah.
brothers' masculine love is different from the sisters' love. So to solve the problem, it's very difficult as an individual because just one side. But as a couple, we have a foundation to solve all the problem with God.
Right.
Because we have both sides to see. That's the beauty of the couple.
We have both sides to see. And if with God we make unity over any circumstance, our experience, and of course we've had most help from true parents, from, Changpyeong Providence, Chombo, from leaders over the years, but actually anything that we, centering on God and true parents, agree to absorb and forgive, I really feel everything can be solved within the blessed family. This is why we pray in our names, for those of you that wonder why we pray in our own names. Jesus prophesied that, by the way, for those of you who have a Christian upbringing. But same with Buddha. Buddha wants us to achieve the same standard of enlightenment. Jesus wanted us to achieve his level of love and more. And true parents want us to become true parents, right? With the ability to not just speak truth, but the ability to even absorb, to even forgive and create conditions for lives to be changed. So that gift is given first to the couple and the family. So we've experienced that many times. I have learned so much from my wife, but in interest of time, I'll save that for another message. I have many funny, beautiful stories. Oh my gosh. Yes, I've learned so much from my wife because she's a sister. I've learned so much from her because she's from the other side of the world, from Asia, and because she's God's daughter. God's daughter. And brothers, honestly, one of my biggest jobs is to not only remember that, but to remind her of that. Because for 6,000 years or 150,000 years, we haven't been treating our sisters as God's daughter. But how lucky you are if you can marry God's daughter. Think of it. So to conclude, we are so lucky to be blessed. We are lucky to be alive at this time with our true parents. True mother loves us so much. And she wants all people to lead as couples, families. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, no matter how many difficulties we've been through, no matter how much I've had to really hit myself and change, this person, my wife, Yumiko, from the other side of the world, this is my best buddy.
You're my best buddy.
You are my best buddy, and you are a gift from God. And I feel like I was introduced to the other side of the universe. Yeah, that's right. She's like, what? Yeah, I was introduced to the other side. I'm shocked. I thought I could sort of understand the world, but no. It's like, this is me by myself, and then bing, with my wife, I'm forced to see things I didn't even expect to see. I didn't want to see. I didn't know I had to see. But without seeing these things, yeah. My wife is my best buddy.
We are.
And because we rooted our buddiness in true parents' love and heavenly parents' love, which anybody can do anytime. You can confess your love for God and true parents anytime. But I believe we've been able to overcome every challenge. And with this, I feel like my wife is my tour guide through the universe, and I am her tour guide through the universe. And together we can explore everything that God has blessed humanity to explore. We can go anywhere together with that love. We can go anywhere. We can do anything. A lot of the time I'm kind of trying to convince her. Look, we've been married for 23 years and we've moved 17 times. Actually 18 times, and we're about to move 19 times in 23 years. How does anybody do that? I tell you, with my wife, she's excellent at packing boxes,
yes,
labeling boxes. You need a practical skill. But actually, we realize the universe is not out there. It's in here. It's in here. This is the universe that we are exploring. And God has given us the most perfect tour guide for you to navigate the waters and the mountains and the valleys and the streams and the meadows and the forests and the snow-peaked Himalayas of your universe. So hold on tight, brothers and sisters. If you didn't get married yet, prepare well, and God will find you a person that you will commit eternity, and that will be your eternal tour through the universe of God's joy and love, and it will be joyful, and it will be happy, and it will be full of hope. Just stick with it, and you will, no matter how many challenges, you will be able to absorb them all through couples love. Majayo, this is her face saying, you're right, and now it's time to finish. So with that, let us give our wives, brothers, let us give our couples a big round of applause.